Happy belated birthday, Michelle. This is a sad video for me. I actually was about to send you your Pacific RMA gift and unfortunately found out that they harvested this near Japan, which I personally think it's criminal to be selling any food near such a recent nuclear radioactive spill. And so I drove home and researched it a little bit more and come to find out that it's actually, not only is it radioactive, but it's radioactive iodine that was spewed. And so I definitely don't recommend this for the radioactive reason and the radioactive iodine reason. Pacific RMA is the highest in iodine, but since such a toxic form is in the waters there, I can't recommend it any longer. And I also can't really recommend oysters until I look more into just the overall health of the ocean's water, being that they're filter feeders. Although both those sources are super high in iodine, and if our oceans ever get clean, I'm going to re-recommend them. But until I know that to be true, the only whole food source that I know of at the moment that I can recommend for iodine is pastured egg yolks. And again, pastured is the only reason you'd want to buy them. If they're just eggs, I'd say leave them on the shelf. But also, whole food forms of iodine, I read the other day that broccoli has a little bit, and spinach has a little bit, but I think it's quite a little bit because I've never read those anywhere else. And other things I wanted to touch on were bromide, fluoride, and chlorine are all in the same family as iodine. So, and they're all toxic and they're all not needed by our body. So you want to be not getting any of those three into you if you're trying to get your iodine levels and your thyroid to be as healthy as possible. So fluoride and chlorine are primarily put into our nation's drinking water, and of course bathing and showering water as well. So for chlorine, I recommend for bathing, I recommend that you don't shower because there's no way to get it out when you shower. But if you fill up a bath with warm water and then you put in a cap full of vitamin C powder, I get the food grade one, and you wait 3 minutes, that lets the chlorine evaporate up out and you can take a bath with at least no chlorine in it, although there are still going to be other toxic elements that the city puts in there for us. And yeah, so fluoride, I know no of a way of taking it out, so if you're in the 96% of the country that has fluoride, I'm sorry to relay this information, but I don't know of any way that you could shower without fluoride. I do know that if you get reverse osmosis water, you can get most of the fluoride out. Reverse osmosis water takes out about 99.something% of everything that's in the water, and that's the only problem with it, is it leaves the water extremely thin. It's primarily just H2O. There's not really any minerals in it. And so if you want to be getting minerals as well, I recommend you find a healthy spring water source somewhere near you. And also you can make bone broths. That's a great source for mineralization. And also be staying tuned for my video on how to mineralize your vegetable garden, so that when you eat your vegetables, you also get the minerals that we're supposed to be getting back when the soil of this country was healthy. And so yeah, those are some healthy tips. Also for bromide, I found out that they treat flour nowadays with bromide. So unless you know for sure that your flour isn't treated, I would just assume that that's just one more reason to go gluten-free, because you don't want to be taking in toxins that's mixed in with an already toxic food. And yeah, so those are just some new tips. Oh, also, I mentioned last time the Lugol solution. That's what I'm going to be ordering now, as opposed to just trying to eat a bunch of seaweed and oysters like I was before. So Lugol's is in the mail, and the good thing about Lugol's is it contains not only iodide, which is what your thyroid is craving, but it also contains iodine, which is stored in your breast tissues, and it's very beneficial there. But the thing is that I was reading up recently on a Dr. Mercola article where he interviewed like a thyroid specialist. I can't remember the name of his book, but he was saying that on average girls need to take twice the amount of iodine when they're trying to up their levels as guys because of breasts. Breasts are bigger on females usually, and so the more breast tissue, the more iodine you need. So just take that into account when you're dosing yourself if you are trying to get your iodine stores up. And trying to think if I missed anything that I wanted to say. Also, I mentioned last time the liver flesh is definitely an essential tool just to get your health at optimal and get all your minerals and nutrients stored properly, as opposed to your liver being clogged and unable to really do its job. And so stay tuned for my liver flush video. I'm going to be finishing that shortly, and I'll be posting it as well. That's just a great way to get your body to optimal in general. But definitely for iodine, your toxic iodine are going to be stored in stones, and then until those stones are removed, your body's going to remember that iodine is a toxin and not a source of nutrients. And so you don't want your body to be thinking that nutrients are toxins. And so get the toxic iodine out, and your body won't remember those things. It'll start to store iodine again and start to retain your natural health that you should be having. So yeah, that's all that I wanted to say today. Super tired, sorry if you can tell, but just wanted to get that information out before I feel like I misinformed anybody on getting some what I used to think prior to my Fukushima research was healthy iodine sources. But y'all have a good one, and hope this video helps.